Cabachons. This was a cover I was featured on in Sculpted Art Dolls and Figurative Mixed Media Art as a public Facebook page. So it was such an honor to be on their cover page. So here I wanted to show you some needle felting on the face of Mary. This is the last doll, the last final witch doll, and then we can move on. I am using my Wow felt mat from Living Felt. I also have the Harmony foam mat, and I like that also. This is the Living Felt Pale Peach MC1 color, and that is the skin color that I'm using. So I'm going to show you a new eye technique that I really like, and I may switch over to using. It's nice to have options. I like to go back and forth from a couple different techniques, but this is using the glass cabochons. You can buy them on Amazon, and I will put a link in the description. So you do have to choose what size you want to use. So I would recommend getting a couple different sizes. And they're just clear glass, and then you reverse paint the back of it. So you would paint the black pupil first, then you would paint the colored iris, and then the white for the actual eyeball. So you just kind of reverse paint it so that you can see from the front side. So just create a flat surface for your cabochon to be glued onto. So if you need to indent the wool a little bit with a strong needle, you can do that. If the space is too large, then you can fill in with a little bit of wool with the pale peach color and just make the area where you want to glue the eye before you glue it down. Make sure you're happy with it. So here I have a strong needle. I'm just kind of making a little indent, and then I made the overall eye socket a little smaller with some wool just to have it perfect where I wanted it. So this is the glue that I'm using, and it worked really well. I hope you can't hear my dog chewing on her bone. I'm about to take it away from her. Anyway, so I just go ahead and glue them in the position, make sure you're happy with it. And then, just kind of hold it up away from you. And then, yeah, I was really happy with how they came out. I think they have a nice shine to them. They look really lifelike. I have done some other eyes that I have videos for, and I'll show you some examples of them towards the end of this video. So stay tuned. Don't click off, and you'll see the different examples. I really like these because the pupils are, both looking straight ahead. Because of the curve of the cabochon, the pupils will follow you when they kind of have that illusion of following you, versus when you paint them on where, maybe they kind of look wonky, like one pupil's looking off in one direction and another in another direction. So I think the curvature of the glass does help. So I'm firming up my faces, and my dog got a hold of some of my wool while I wasn't home, and it got a bit clumpy. So I did still use it for kind of the underneath area, and then I just made like a little topper just to put over the top, and you can see just like magic, it smooths everything out. So I was still able to use it. So I was really happy about that. Our other dogs never used to bother any of my stuff, and now we have a new puppy, and she loves to get into everything. So I am making sure to keep everything gated away from her from now on. She can't get a hold of the wool. It is so attractive to some dogs, the sheepy smell. So here I am just smoothing things out with my fine needle. Now you don't want to push in too hard, because you don't want to compact it too much. So I'm just doing small pokes with the fine needle. You don't want to completely take the air out. It's just the more you tap, 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 it'll kind of firm up that outer layer without completely losing your shape. So that's kind of the technique that I try to teach you. So, and then the doll needle is really great for if things do get compressed too much. You can kind of fluff it back up with that doll needle Never use your needle felting needles to do that because they'll just snap right off. But you know, the doll needle is great. So I had to switch to the Wow Topper because I used to hold my needles in my foam mat. I had like a harder foam mat that I bought from someone else, and I hit it with my arm and it snapped off inside the foam mat. So I did have to throw that away because I didn't want it to eventually work its way out and, you know, fall on the floor or create, you know, a safety issue. So I threw that mat away. So I have my Harmony foam mat still, that small mat that you saw in the beginning. But I like this Wow Topper, and you could kind of put like a throw pillow or any other kind of cushion on your lap, and then just put the topper on over that to protect the cushion, and that way you're not gonna, you know, stab through your pillow. So I'm excited to use it. So that is from Living Felt. Yeah. So here I am just kind of firming things up and getting them the way I want them. So some sculpting. For the nose, I would recommend, you know, looking upside down, making sure that the nostrils look good from underneath and from all sides. At the bottom of the nose, your nostrils kind of attach to your mouth. At the upper lip area, there's like a little curvature to the nostril that comes around the bottom of the nose. And so if you add that in, it'll make it look more realistic and just give more shape and support to the nose. So do turn it all around. And then also when you're doing the mouth, I think I'm going to make my upper lip not stick up so much. So I'm going to work a little bit of that on camera just to kind of take that duck lip kind of look to her out. So I would recommend doing that. You know, look at pictures. I'm still learning also. You know, I'm still changing the way that I do things. And then if you look at the mouth, I find that if you tuck the bottom lip underneath at the corner, underneath the top lip, that's really how your mouth looks. And that kind of helps to make it look more realistic. So I would recommend looking at other pictures of artists' work, not to copy it, but just to see, you know, how they do their faces. It reminds me of when you're little and, you know, you draw a picture of a dog or draw a picture of anything, and you kind of draw it as you see it in your mind, but you're not really looking at the actual thing that you're drawing. You know, really try to slow down and focus and really look at pictures of people's faces down to the smallest detail, and really try to sculpt or draw what you see. It can be really tough. So it's something that, you know, we always have to keep practice and working on. But try to draw or sculpt what you actually see versus what you think it should look like. And that will help you to get more realistic. If that is difficult and not something that you think that you can do, then I would lean more towards like a cartoony style, which is really cute also. And so you can look at, you know, comic book pictures or, you know, cartoons, anime kind of pictures, and see how they sculpt or draw their characters. And you can model your sculptures after those. So I'm really liking how this face is coming out. I'm not sure if it's Mary's face just yet. So I'll have to look at a picture of her to try to tweak it to get the doll to look more like her. But I'm liking it so far. And then, so stay tuned for some color. We're going to add some color. And I'm going to put her hair on last because when I did the costuming, the hair tends to get a little bit messed up. So I'm going to start doing hair last. And then I'm also going to transition to doing hair with brushed out yarn, acrylic yarn, because I did find that the wool just mats up too much. You can try to use, Serafina Fiber Arts has a fur line that you could try to use, But I think I'm just going to stick with the acrylic yarn and brush it out. You can put it on, you could crochet it on with a wig cap. I'll show you all of this as I do it. But you could brush it out, and then you can use a flat iron to straighten it. And then I did see one artist, I need to get their name so I can mention them. I cannot remember it right now. But they gave me the recommendation of buying metal straws and then use your flat iron to heat the straw, and then you can curl the hair. So I will get their name and put it in the comments, because I do want to give them credit for that. So I'm excited to try those, and I'll show you and then re-mention their name when I show you actually doing it. So I always like to give, the artist credit where I find ideas. I think that's really important, and also tell you the artists' names that have inspired me. So one of the artists I would like to mention is Agosia Arts. It's Agosia Arts, and she's really great to watch about construction of dolls. So I really like her. Do check her out. She makes fabric, recycled wool fabric dolls that resemble animals, and her construction techniques are just spot on. I really enjoy them, and I've learned a lot from her, so do check her out. So here I am doing the eyelids, and I did a different technique this time with my eyelids. I really like it, so I made the eyelids much smaller. And I just, I made the brow ridge, the forehead and the eyebrow ridge bigger and in one piece. And then I just did a very thin upper eyelid, and then a very thin lower eyelid. And I didn't really connect it to anything. Whereas in the past, I kind of stretched it up and tried to make the eyelid the brow ridge. So I made them separately, and I really like it. I don't know if it was just having the glass eye in there that kind of helped support the eyelid, but I feel like it really made a big difference, and it looks much more realistic to me. So I'm super happy with it, and we'll see how it works going forward. Okay, so I am finishing my recording from this morning. I had to unbundle myself from the couch because it's freezing here today. It snowed for the first time. So very cold. So back to my needle felting, all bundled up, and let's get to it. So I'm finishing up the eyelids, and then I will go ahead and just firm up everything with my fine needle without compressing the air out of the shapes that I've made. Just going to go around and firm everything up. And then I think for this face, I am going to use the wool to do my coloring. You can also use the chalks like we've done in the past videos, like I've showed you, or you can use the wool. So I will do a video with the coloring, and then once I get some clothes on this doll, then I will show you doing her hair, and then they will be done. So I'm still hoping to review the kit I bought for making the elf from Living Felt, one of the Living Felt classes, and I will not show you me doing the kit, but I'll do a review of it and kind of just show you some pictures as I go through. So I can't do a full tutorial because it was a paid class. But so that'll be next. And then in January, I have an exciting project coming up that I will show you in January. Hopefully we'll be getting to that. So it's all moving quickly, and it's very exciting. So please do like and subscribe to my channel. Make some comments. Let me know what you're thinking so that you can stay following along with me as we start into some of these new projects. So I did want to highlight in this video the different eyes. So here we have the felted eyes. I am going to try and add some more white to the eyes. They're a little bit muted, a little bit dull. I don't think I will be doing felted eyes again. I've seen people do felted eyes wonderfully. I just don't think I have it. The technique down maybe could be part of it, or just the fact, it just doesn't create the spark of life that I am looking for. So I probably will not be moving ahead with doing felted eyes. But if you're a wool purist and you really want to use the wool, I think they look just fine. It's just not going to be for me moving forward. So here you have, sorry, I had to slow the video down a lot so I could get everything in. Here you have the technique of the cloth that I went ahead, and there's a video of this. You take the cloth and you make a little bit of a circle and then sew that into the eye socket and then paint it with the acrylics and fabric medium. And I will link a video link to that video so you can watch it if you'd like. Again, not my favorite technique, just because they don't follow you like with the pupil, like if you had the glass cabochon or the painted clay. So I don't think I'll be doing that one again either. I do have another technique that I want to try. It is with paint. I'm not going to tell you too much about it because I want to experiment and then make a video and show you. It's not with fabric medium, but it is with paint, and that's all I'm going to tell you for now. So stay tuned for that. This one, I think with having the fabric eyeball in there, it just didn't quite work out for me. So probably not doing that one again. This I did like. This is using clay to make an eye. The only thing that's tough with this is that, when you're creating the eye, although I didn't have the trouble with the cabochon, but sometimes you can hit your needle on the clay. So, but on this particular doll, I made the eyeball more almond, and I wouldn't do that. I would stick to the roundness of the cabochon. So if you're going to make an eyeball, try to stick to the shape of the glass cabochons where it's a circle. You could have a flat back to it, but try to keep the shape round like an eyeball. This went a little bit too almond for me. So it's really fun to try the different techniques, and I hope, by watching these videos, you are learning a little bit about what technique you want to use. They're all great. So the clay, the fabric, the wool, they're all wonderful. The glass cabochons, all of them are going to take practice. These are kind of first attempts on pretty much all of them. So they're going to take practice to get better. So if you don't like it at first, don't give up completely. Just keep going at it. But, definitely I think you'll find which ones you like better than the other. So, and these I really like. These are the glass cabochons. They really worked out for me. The only thing that I don't like about the glass cabochons is that you have to buy them. So what I think I will do is get a resin kit. And so I've asked for a resin kit for Christmas because why not? And I will get a resin kit and then make the eye with the paint, and then I will show you. So I think that'll be a really fun experiment. Instead of buying the cabochons, we'll make the eyeball with the resin. It comes in different sizes, and then you cure it. You can add your coloring. I was going to try and maybe just use like gel nail polish, or maybe painting the back of it. We'll try some things out, and I'll make a video of that, and we'll see how that works out. So, and if it doesn't work, you can always go back to buying the glass cabochons on Amazon. So I will post a link for the cabochons and for those things that I mentioned. Before I leave you, I wanted to give a huge thank you shout out to Felts by Philippa for mentioning my channel on her channel, and that was really kind. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I love all her videos, so do check them out, and I will link her channel as well. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.